Yo, what's good, boys? So by the title of this video, you clicked on it because you just want to hear a perspective of young entrepreneur, somebody who's kind of in the online business space, just to give you guys, full clarity if you guys don't already know who I am, right? I'm not a fucking millionaire. I'm not a billionaire. I'm literally a 21-year-old kid, dropped out of college, moved across the country, who's just trying to make a name for himself in this world of business and just life. And I'm just telling you guys kind of my perspective on how all this works, what I've learned so far, because I know there's a ton of people each and every single day who not only hit me up, but you might watch all these different influencers and whatnot online, and you're just trying to just learn and get an edge and actually just see how you can start all this shit for yourself. So enough yap. These are like the 3 lessons that I kind of feel are very predominant right now, kind of what I wish I would have told myself first starting this shit, and really just getting into it and transitioning from each phase to phase to get to where I am right now. So I have it written down on my phone here. The number one thing, bro, is you got to understand that you 99.98% are most likely your own bottleneck. So what that means is, all right, I had to pause the clip because I realized my mic wasn't on. But all right, so you have to realize that you're most likely your own bottleneck. And what that means is you're like, and I know it sounds cliche, right? And you probably heard it a million times, but there's genuinely a reason why, right? When I say you're most likely your own bottleneck, that means like there's literally nothing else besides you that's holding you back. And like even me saying this, I go through this realization on a day-to-day basis, bro. And a lot of people, even if they're making 100K, 500, $1 million a month, a lot of people still come to this realization each and every single day, because it's true. Like, just genuinely sit down and think. I want you to sit down and ask yourself right now, wherever you're at. Even me, I know the fucking answer is gonna be no. Genuinely ask yourself, like, do you actually believe that you are doing everything in your power to get to where it is that you want to be? 99% of the answer is going to be no. And if you did, well, you probably wouldn't be watching this video right now. So you have to understand that you are your own bottleneck, right? Even for me, I get in my way sometimes. I doom scroll, I procrastinate, I fucking put things off, I forget shit, I don't write everything down, right? So you are your own bottleneck in the sense that if you actually want to get to where it is that you want to be, right? So you want to make 10K a month, you first have to realize that, okay, the things I'm doing right now on a day-to-day basis probably isn't, it's not going to get me to 10K a month, because if they were, I'd already be at 10K a month. So that was the first thing that ticked in my mind. I was like, okay, going to the gym, it's good, right? Not saying don't go to the gym, but it's not going to put money in your bank account, right? So you actually have to sit down, open the fucking laptop, start learning skills to make you money, and not only just watch and consume content and learn, execute. You have to actually execute. So actually put in practice what it is you are learning and put in the inputs, bro. And that's the one thing that holds a lot of people back, is actually inputs. Holy shit, dude. Boston's so fucking beautiful. Oh my goodness. This is incredible, bro. But anyways, inputs. You're the only person holding you back. So how do you fix that? Well, I think one thing that holds a lot of people back is they think that making money is hard. And I've had this thought pop up into my head each and every time I'm trying to scale to the new figure. Like right now, my thing is I really want to hit $100,000 profit in a month, right? That's my biggest goal. And I remember when I was trying to hit my first 10K a month, it felt probably the exact same as it feels right now. It's just a different figure, right? So me trying to hit 100K a month, I wouldn't say it's the same necessarily difficulty as in I have to learn business, I have to learn a whole bunch of things, but it's gonna feel more or less the same, I would say, until you get to a certain point where you really just got this shit down packed. It's gonna feel hard. But you already know that. Making money, right? Having all the things that you want in your life. If this shit was easy, we'd all be up. But then if we were all up, then would it even actually be considered being up? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because everyone would be up. So then you would just actually be average. So understand that in order to get the dream life that you want, you gotta do things that average people don't fucking do. Number 2 is clarity is very important. If you want clarity, right, it doesn't come from overthinking. I realize it comes from outputs and inputs, right? Because I always say this, especially to my Amazon students, money is a lagging indicator, right? So that means by making money, whenever you do something to try and make money, it's gonna lag. What that means is, say you will try, like for example, say you have an agency, right? You do outreach, right? You do cold calls, whatever. You put in an input for that day, but you aren't expecting to sign that client that day. You aren't expecting to close that client that day. You aren't expecting to make money from that client that very day, unless they're a warm lead or whatever. When it comes to your Amazon business, you find a product that day, you buy it, it might not sell that day, and even if it does, you're not gonna get that money paid into your bank account that very day. Money lags no matter what it is you do, right? But if you lag on the input to try and make that money, meaning you procrastinate, you wait, you're already lagging on an input where it already lags as is. Why the fuck? You're literally just delaying the inevitable, right? You have to think of you making money as inevitable. A lot of people say, if I make money doing this, no, you have to switch your frame as everything I do to try and make money is gonna fucking work. It's just inevitable, right? So clarity comes from actually doing your inputs. Now, not every input is gonna lead to some type of win. In fact, most inputs aren't really gonna lead to anything, at least when you first do it and when you first realize, oh shit, this did or didn't work. What I mean by that is, when you do something and it doesn't work out the way that you want it to, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? A lot of people will say, oh my God, dude, I failed at doing this, it doesn't work, yada, yada, and they'll get disappointed. But what you have to understand is that you just crossed off another thing on the box that doesn't work so that you can get to the one that does work, right? Because I've always had the frame in my head that motherfuckers are out here driving Lambos at 18 years old. I know that making a lot of money exists and that anyone can make a lot of money, no matter what age, right? It doesn't even matter what job you do, because I know motherfuckers who are stupid as shit and they're making a fuck ton of money. So it doesn't matter who you are or what you do, right? That's not it. It's about the inputs and what actual vehicle you're in, right? So if you want clarity, you have to put inputs so that you can get some type of output, good or bad, and that will give you the clarity you need in your mind to say, okay, this works, let's keep doing it, double down. This doesn't work, let's maybe switch it up, change the strategy. But you're never gonna know if you don't do the input, right? So then when you start overthinking about your strategy, not actually putting in the input and actually executing on it, then you get stressed, then you get clouded, and you start overthinking, then you're like, what if, what if, what if? You can't ask what if, you just gotta fucking try. And the last thing, right, is you already have all the answers, bro. You have ChatGPT, you have YouTube, you have Google, you have millionaires, billionaires posting their sauce online every single fucking day. What else do you need? Genuinely, what else do you need? You literally have the entire human's history in your fucking pocket, bro. All of human's history, knowledge that we've accumulated in your pocket. You don't need any more answers, all right? You just need better questions, right? And how do you get better questions? Is by, once again, just doing simple inputs, right? And the hardest part I see, especially for beginners, is figuring out what inputs you need to put in. And if you're confused on what inputs you need to put in, what do you actually need to do to make money in said business model, then you don't know enough about the business model. So you have to go back and do more research. Research how it works. Amazon FBA. What is Amazon FBA? Okay, I know what it is. People sell products on Amazon, they resell a bunch of, okay. How do they find the products? How do they flip them? How do they make money? How are they getting them for cheap? Why can they even charge more on Amazon? Ask all these questions. You have Google, you have ChatGPT, you have YouTube. That's really it. That's all I fucking use, bro. And motherfuckers are making $1 million a month, right? The life that you want to live I promise you it's not that far away. And even in the sense of making 10, 20K a month, bro, it's not that much fucking money, right? Anyone can do this shit, and you can too, dude. It's just gonna take some time. And I was talking to one of my team members the other day. He was like, bro, I've been doing this for like 6, 7, 8 months, you know, I haven't gotten the traction that I want to see, whatnot. And I was like, bro, do you know where do you remember where the fuck you were? Like when I first met you, you were like getting into this shit. He was absolutely clueless. And now that he's around people, he sees the content every day, he's around people who are genuinely making a fucking lot of money, and we live in a beautiful ass area in Florida. Now he's shifted the mindset to, damn, bro, I have to be making 50K a month, 100K a month in order to feel satisfied. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing from a humanity, like inner being perspective, but in terms of business goals and actually want to fucking do something with your life, that's one of the keys, is to, one, understand and just consume and immerse yourself in the space, is what I like to call it, of how this all works and the people and the business, and just immerse yourself, bro. If you can, one, immerse yourself, learn to love the process, everything else is history. Time will take its fold, but you can't just wait on time, because everyone's got time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. What do I do with my 24 hours is different from what you do with your 24 hours, and that's why we have different results. So take that as you will. I hope this helps at least somebody. If you guys want to learn what I do to make money online, how to sell products on Amazon, there's going to be a link to another YouTube video down below on how I dropped out of college, moved across the country, and how I ran up a 7-figure Amazon business, and also help other people sell on Amazon as well. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, there's also going to be a link down below for my 24/7 Profits consulting group. And yeah, aside from that, follow me on Instagram, allday.fba. Shoot me a DM if you just want to chop it up. Ask me any questions. I will not DM anyone back who wasn't following me, so make sure you follow me. But yeah, boys, hope you enjoyed this one. Hope it was valuable, and I'll see you boys in the next one.